Tap in, y'all. Tap in. You already know what time it is. Tap in, tap in, tap in. Make Keparada greatest live. Oh, yeah. I know y'all missed the king, but hey, got to get back to it. You feel me? Tap in, y'all. Tap in. Y'all know what this is. It's the Nestle BT Man Keparad Thought Moses the Great. Oh, man, we've been putting in work. Huh. It's going in, y'all. We going in. You know, we've been on our campaign out here in California, man, to literally and make ourselves more independent. You know what I'm saying? We not constantly falling for the shenanigans of, the Republican Party, Democratic Party, this and that. We building our own party. We got our own power, and we coming back to our greatness. No longer will we be subjugated by these white supremacists in America as they continue to terrorize our people, as they continue to steal our wealth from us, as they continue to enact these unlawful laws against us. We're going to sit down and break down. And I don't care how many people come into live, because for real, it ain't about what's on the internet. This is just for my people that's just, you know what I'm saying, across America. It's really about doing the real work, which is right there out there in the streets. You know what I'm saying? And I've been watching a lot of the comrades out there putting in a lot of good, you know what I'm saying, courageous work, man, checking a lot of these politicians. And I'm here to tell you that, listen, we don't need them. And when you really understand that, man, the better off we'll be. You feel me? Who we got in the building? The L Witch Doctor. Okay, okay. We got us a witch doctor in the building. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. Peace and blessings to you. You know what I'm saying? Carry dog. Yeah. We're going to build on it. We're going to build on it. But first, what we need to do is, like I told y'all, the most important thing, man, of us heading into 2026 and heading into 2027 is building our own. We can't continue to go this same route, man, of thinking that these Europeans who are on their way out the door, if you're not realizing what's going on between this Russia war, this China war, this American war, this Iranian war, it's the prophecy being fulfilled that Elijah Muhammad spoke on about the devil's time basically being up. And when you understand that, you start making your preparations, for freedom, not for enslavement, not for bondage, but for freedom. Everything that's coming out of these people's mouths, you already see is a lie. Everything that's coming out of these people's mouths, you already see is not truthful. You know what I'm saying? They're continuing to terrorize our people. And I'm going to show y'all a couple of things that's, you know what I'm saying, that's been really, really pissing me off, man. Just literally watching these Europeans continue to terrorize our people and then us constantly being victimized by them. So the thing is that this, like I told y'all before, this is an old war. And being that this is an old war, our memories have been wiped out. But now that our memories is coming back, you should already know and understand which side you stand on. And it should never be on the side of evil. Because I'm here to tell you, man, that these Europeans' days are up. And they know that. They're having problems trying to control the world because they don't have the military supremacy that they used to have. See, when they had the guns and the cannons and everybody was still running around with swords and shields, they could do some things. But now that that has literally faded itself out of the way and everybody got missile capabilities, everybody got warships, and they're out there actively using it, those days are coming to an end. So what has happened is that now you're starting to see the fall of the European empire, the fall of the American empire, and you have to start making preparations for that. Because I don't care what these Europeans tell you about how much they have allegiance to black people, they don't have no allegiance to us. Never have, never will. The only thing they want to do from you is steal your life from you, steal your material wealth from you, and eventually kill, murder, and victimize the next generation that comes after you. You know what I'm saying? The truth is what it is. These people are not our people, straight up and down. And as king, I'm here to tell you that. And I've been on my campaign throughout these streets because I don't have to literally, you know what I'm saying, do this and that. All I have to do is convince my people, and that's it. And that's what we have been doing. And black people are starting to wake up to the knowledge that trying to work yourself inside of the Democrat or Republican Party, you will see they will both eventually turn on you. The Democrats want you to go to the abortion clinic, and the Republicans want to shoot you dead in the street. So either way you go, it's just like Malcolm X said. You can either go to the fox or you can go to the wolf. Or you can come back home to the kingdom. There's only three options that you have. You can either join the Republican Party and see where that's going to get you. You can join the Democratic Party and see where that has gotten you. Or you can come home back to your original people and stop looking at these Europeans as if they're going to provide you with something. I had a talk with somebody not too long ago, and it was like, well, the Republicans used to be a black party, and they did. They did. But since Trump has gotten into office, that's no longer the case. Trump has shown and proved to you that the Republican Party within itself is a party that is founded on hate by Trump and by previous Republicans such as Ronald Reagan, such as George Bush Jr. and Sr. And that's all you need to know, because following behind these people ain't getting us nowhere. And that's why we have enacted the Black House Bill. And what the Black House Bill is saying that we're going to build our own seat of power and stop depending on the White House to start providing anything for us. It come a point in time in America, black folks, where we have to provide for ourselves. And when I say provide, I mean power-wise. I don't want to see nobody when the Democratic and Republican parties come up. I don't want to see no black folks talking about I'm supporting the Democrat or I'm supporting the Republican Party, because literally what has that gotten you? It's gotten you nowhere. And come a point in the time where black men have to be men for themselves and for them children and take care of their own family. You can't continue to keep going down this same path and thinking that you're going to get some kind of results. What's the definition of insanity? The definition of insanity is doing something over and over again, expecting a different result. The results have always been the same. And we're going to get into it because I have a lot of information that I want to reveal to y'all about what you guys have been going through over these last 400, 500 some odd years. See, a lot of y'all don't really understand what's going on. So being that you don't understand what's going on, you constantly fall victim to the same things over and over as you continue to see more and more black men homeless out there on the street, more and more black men out there on drugs, more and more young black women out there homeless on the street, more and more black women homeless out there on drugs. Why is this happening? How do we go from being enslaved for 400 years to now homeless on the same place in which we built up? We built these homes in America, and now we're homeless out here. Now we're out here on drugs out here in the streets. The only reason why that is because we've been trapped by the devil. And when you really understand that you're living in hell as black people, you will understand that you can't be here. These people have literally built themselves a heaven on earth off of the backs of our people. And they have used the Bible to manipulate our preachers into telling our people to be subservient. They have manipulated the Bible to make our people, you know what I'm saying, being dictated to by this government. So we have to build our own government. We can't continue to participate in a government that doesn't participate in us. Every time I turn on the TV, I hear black folk talking about, well, we need reparations. What makes you think the devil's going to give you reparations? He's not. He's never going to give you reparations. And when you guys thought, and I thought it too, I was like, maybe it might be a slim bit chance that Governor Newsom will try to give black folks in California reparations for all of the mistreatment that we have suffered inside of California, just California, only to see him try to turn around and bully us and tell us to not put no pressure on the Black Congressional Caucus because they're doing a good job. When it was the Black Congressional Caucus who literally sabotaged black people getting reparations in California, getting a hearing on it. So at the end of the day, you have to really ask yourself, why are we continuing to participate in the system? The reason why black folks have participated in the system is because we thought that we could talk to people who we thought had some kind of sense with sense. You know, you claim to be Christians, so why don't you do the Christian thing and repair and repent? But see, you got to understand something. When a person is evil, that's all they're going to do. There is no repair and repent and evil people. There is no reparations that's going to be given to us by a bunch of evil people. And that's why I tell you, black folks, you have to call them what they are. They are the devil. And being that Elijah Muhammad came out and told us this a generation ago and explained it to you in books and in writing, that these people are the devil. I don't understand why it's been so hard for us to understand when they keep doing these devilish acts. When you see them bombing little kids over there in Iran, you should not be surprised because that's what the devil does. When you see them injuring and murdering elderly people, you should not be surprised because that's what the devil does. When you see them culturally changing our youth into starting to devil worship, you shouldn't be surprised because that's what the devil does. And they have been doing this for generations. And being that we are good people, we try to turn around and say, well, maybe you should repair and repent for the things that you have done, only to see them turn around and spit in our face. So it has to come to a point where we stop participating in the game. See, as long as you participate in the game, then you're a part of it. Once you stop participating in the game, you're no longer a part of it no more. And then you realize that the real power is within self, not them. Listen, everything these people have built up has been off of us. Whether it's been the White House that they built up, whether it's been the states that they have built up, whether it's been the money that they have built up, it's all been off of our sweat of our brow, off of our labor and our genius. So who's to say that we can't do the same thing for ourselves of making our own decisions in our own community? Whether it be in LA, whether it be in New York, whether it be in Philadelphia, whether it be in Florida, whether it be in New Orleans, whether it be in Alabama, all of the states where black people come together in more than three people, it should be a council inside of that community that should be working towards building inside of that community, and everybody should be getting on the board on one accord. And if we want to split the parties up, we shouldn't be calling them Republican or Democrat. We should be calling them either a Martinist party or a Malcolm X party. And the reason why I say that is because the two different philosophies which still hold prevalent inside of our community of those who are conservative and those who are liberal inside of our community, it's still the party inside of our community. And we shouldn't be considering ourselves to be Republican and Democrat when you can't even get the Republicans or the Democrats to vouch for you for anything that's beneficial for your community. And we got to stop having these small-minded ass goals. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop having these small-minded ass goals of thinking that the only way we can get power is from them. The only thing that gave them power, man, was the gun. Period. And they used the gun to subdue you, miseducate you, force to simulate you, and basically take over all of the land over here in America, which they still have, and put you in the poor parts of America and subjugate you to poverty, to welfare, to bad health care. All of these issues that we can take care of ourselves if we just put our minds to it and do it. I see it too many times. Shout out to the homie Dawu out there in Watts, who literally tore down the whole Jordan Down projects and built up some new, really, really nice apartments for his people in that town. And like I tell people, we have the power to do anything we want to. All you have to do is just believe and then turn your beliefs into actions. And that's why we're building up the Black House now. And mark my words, black folks, mark my words that when you don't see me on live, it's because I'm putting in the work. And the reason why I introduce myself to y'all now is because I've already been putting in the work for 15 years plus. And being that I've been putting in the work for 15 years plus, it's time for us to take the next step. And that next step is not going to no voting block thinking that you're going to get power. And I don't want to hear nothing from no black folks that tell me, oh, well, my ancestors fought for the right to vote. They did not fight for the right to vote. They fought for the right to be free. My ancestors who fought in the Civil War fought for the right to be free, not for the right to vote for a white man to have power over them. Ashe? We should never give up our right to have power. And we should never participate in a democratic system that doesn't benefit us. And how, just use your common sense, black folks. And I really want you to do this. When you look at the American presidents in America, all the presidents that we have had, which president has benefited us? The only one that you can probably say that has benefited black folks has been Barack Obama, Abraham Lincoln, John F. Kennedy. Those are the only ones. And what happened to them? Abraham Lincoln, murdered. John F. Kennedy, murdered. Barack Obama, shit. Trump trying to put him in jail right now. So that lets you know how they feel about any aspect of you as a black man having any kind of power. And the reason why that is because they have systematically made you ineffective in America. They have supplanted you with migrants, immigration, Mexicans, people from Ukraine, other Europeans have subjugated your power in your own community. Economically, they have subjugated you, flooding your community with foreigners who open up businesses right inside of your community, take that money out of your community and siphon it off into their countries. So none of this has benefited you, and it was never meant to benefit you. America was never meant to benefit black folks. It was only meant to benefit Europeans and white folks, period. And once you come to that understanding, you'll see why we're building up the black house. And even though our ancestors are the ones who are responsible for actually the building and construction of the White House, it does not mean that that building serves us anymore. We got to learn how to walk away from things that don't benefit us. And we got to stop listening to these so-called entertainers who want to come by every 4 years and tell you that you need to either vote to be a Democrat or you need to vote to be a Republican. How has that benefited us? If we don't take our power and our communities in our own hand, we won't have none. If we don't do the necessary things that it takes to build our communities, we won't have none. And that's just period. We have to build our own communities and we have to be the ones in control of it from top to bottom. And that takes a lot of hard work. And I understand that a lot of our people suffer from escapism. I know you want to go out there and party. Believe me, McKepperall likes to have fun just like the next person. But at the end of the day, I'm still a dedicated soldier on the front line. You see what I'm saying? I'm still a dedicated soldier on the front line. So we can't keep participating in this game, man. You know what I'm saying? We can't keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if a lot of y'all brothers heard about this case that's going on right now, but we're going to get into it. Shout out to my brother out there from Taylor House Publishing. But there's the case that's going on right now in North Carolina where literally a black woman was harassed by the Ku Klux Klan to the point where she went inside of the court building and ended up shooting two lawyers inside of there, literally in self-defense after they had tortured her mom and her family. And this is an older black woman. You know, older black women do not believe in violence at all. But it came to the point where her family literally got destroyed by the Ku Klux Klan. And this is in 2026, black folks. And after her calling the police for help, all they did was turn their back on her. And when the judge turned around and asked them to give them the body cam footage from the police turned around and said that they destroyed it. So what does that tell you? It shows you that even when you try to put restraints on the devil and try to make him an honest person, he'll still turn around and do the most deceitful shit against you to hold power. And they keep doing this generation after generation after generation after generation. And there's a lot of time it's because instead of brothers taking care of their responsibilities inside of their communities, we keep letting ourselves getting subjugated by these Europeans inside of our communities who turn around and use the same laws that are supposed to protect all of America. They use these same laws not to protect us, but to deny us and also subjugate us. And they're not just doing it to us. And that's really what I want you to get to understand, that this world war that you see that's going on is not just a world war of, you know what I'm saying, people just attack. No, this is everybody across the world is throwing the yoke of white supremacy, colonization against off of them. The Iranians are over there telling the white people that, listen, we won't be dictated to. We won't be subjugated by your fake laws, and we won't be mistreated by you ignorant white supremacists. We won't let you dictate to us what's going to be the terms of what we can and cannot have. Same thing to the Chinese when he went over there to the Chinese. What did the Chinese man say? We won't be dictated to. We won't be subjugated. So I want you to understand that your fight for freedom is not your fight alone. This is a worldwide fight to throw the yoke of white supremacy, not just off of us, but off of the whole world. That dollar bill that you pick up, George Washington, it just ain't enslaved black people in America. It enslaved the whole world. The petrodollar has literally enslaved the whole world and has caused millions and millions and millions of people's death behind it. It is a plague across the world. And when you understand that it is a plague across the world, you will be working yourself to get from underneath that plague. The same way that the Chinese people told Trump to his face that they won't be subjugated to them no more, it's the same way that Russia has told the Europeans and America that they won't be subjugated to their laws no more. Same way the Iranians have turned around and said they won't be subjugated to their laws no more. Your fight is not alone. But the thing is that you have to have some kind of common sense to understand that living up under this doctrine and this system has not benefited you at all. All it has done is stunt your own personal growth, subjugated you back into slavery. As you see that 2.5 million black people are locked up in America right now, you're still being subjugated. And the only way to break that subjugation is to start your own power system where you control your own laws inside of your own communities. And you have to be willing to fight for them. You have to be willing to die for them, or you won't be free. Freedom comes at a cost. We can't keep letting these people mistreat our elders and our women the way that they're doing. It has to come a point in time where you say, hey, enough is enough. I'm tired of every 4 years being up under some white supremacist who promised me everything in the world, but soon as he gets in office, does nothing for us. We can't even get these people who call themselves to be Christians to repent and repair for slavery. They went to the UN and said that slavery wasn't illegal. But yet, when they talk to you, the first thing they want to tell you is that, oh, you know, slavery was one of the great sins of America. Well, yeah, we all know that slavery was the great sin of America, but what do you feel? What do you plan on doing to repent for that sin? Where's the repentance at? And that's why I tell you, black folks, there is no such thing as Christianity inside of this nation. Just devilishment. That's it. These people aren't Christians, never have been. They're not Christians. They're the furthest thing from it. And once you understand that, you'll be better off because you'll understand that when you see them, you know who they are. You won't be fooling yourself because they smile and try to be your friend. You know to spot the devil when you see him. Period. And we got to stop walking around acting like these people aren't the devil. Historically, when you study them, they've been the devil. And see, a lot of black people used to bark at Elijah Muhammad when he said and he came out and said that the white man was the devil. A lot of y'all barked at that. But you tell me, like I said, besides the three presidents that I just named to you, you tell me a president that wasn't devilish towards your people. Whether it was Bill Clinton, whether it was George Bush Jr., whether it's Donald Trump, whether it's Joe Biden, whether it's George Bush Sr., Ronald Reagan, Jimmy Carter, Lyndon B. Johnson. You tell me. They got old tapes, so you listen to them, they calling black people more niggas than they know what to do. We got to wake up out of this slumber because the rest of the world has woken up. We'd be a damn fool to keep playing these political games with these people as if we're going to get some kind of benefit from it. Like I told y'all, this isn't a Christian nation. This is a Roman nation. And the same way that they treated Jesus is the same way that they treat African people. All you got to do is replace the cross with the hanging tree. That's all you got to do is replace the cross with the hanging tree. And when you study the Roman Empire, what you will realize is that the reason why they subjugated Jesus the way that they did was because they wanted to keep control and power over the people that Jesus had control over. They wanted to tax his people. They wanted to subjugate his people. And the only way they could do that was to put Jesus on the cross and crucify him. No different than what they did to Martin Luther King. No different than what they did to Malcolm X. No different than what they did to countless other black men in America who found themselves on the wrong side of the white man's anger. Uppity niggas who decided that, hey, I want to run for office. I want to have some kind of political power to try to change the conditions of my people who are being subjugated by the Romans, who are being subjugated by the devil. The truth is what it always has been. And until you realize that, you'll be continually subjugated by these devils. We got to get out of this whole political system because it's not benefiting us. Being a Democrat, being a Republican, please tell me, what has that gotten you? It hasn't gotten you nowhere. And like I told the white America out there, the same thing goes for you also. We already know what's going on. It's not the political system, it's the private system. The political system is just to keep the private system keep going the way that it's been going. Keep people paying rent on stolen land. Keep people paying mortgages on stolen land. Keep people paying taxes on stolen land while you subjugate those people who the land originally belongs to, the same way that the Romans did Jesus. That's why I tell a lot of Christians, you have to actually study the Bible. You have to study it. See, what happens is that a lot of times, a lot of you Christians, you like to just stop at the words of Jesus, but you never study the Romans and how they subjugated the people of Jesus. You never sit around and actually pick up a book and study the Roman Empire. Because if you did, you would see a whole lot of correlation between the Roman Empire and the American Empire. You would see the truth. And it'll kind of wake your mind up and be like, well, hold up. So that's why they doing this, and this, and that. See, the facade is that, oh, we're all Christians. And that we believe in the love of Jesus. But then behind the doors is we need political power. And anybody that's against that political power needs to be hung from a tree, needs to be subjugated, needs to be thrown in jail. That's the part of the Bible that a lot of black folks don't get taught as Christians in America. You learn about the plight of Jesus, but you don't understand why he was crucified. He wasn't just crucified because he was walking around calling himself the Son of God. He was crucified because he was a black man and the Romans wanted his territory. They wanted his territory. Why? Because they wanted to subjugate his people to taxes to pay to Caesar. And that's why you hear Jesus saying all the time, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. Because it was a political fight. It was a political fight between Jesus' power and Caesar's power. And in the Bible, Caesar won because he ended up crucifying Jesus. They don't tell you the aftermath about how once they crucified Jesus, the people that was following him were subjugated, tortured, and made to pay taxes. The same way that African Americans over here are subjugated, tortured, and made to pay taxes. The only difference, like I tell you before, the only difference is Jesus hung from a cross and we were hung from the tree. No difference. So that's why I'm telling you, we have to build our own house because that's at the end of the day, that's what this whole thing is about. Who has power? And as long as we continue to make ourselves a so-called democratic people up under these European laws, we're going to constantly find ourselves outnumbered, constantly find ourselves not represented, and constantly find ourselves subjugated to those who have the numbers. Constantly find ourselves subjugated to those who have the numbers. Period. As long as you call yourself as a black man and a Republican or a Democrat, you've already lost. You've already said, I don't want my people to have power. And that I'm willing to give up my power to participate in this democratic system that'll never have a black man or a black woman consistently in power. Because mathematically, it just don't add up. And that should be common sense for every black man in America. That you don't have the numbers in America to have consistent power unless you create that power yourself. You don't have the numbers. Sitting around in America waiting on these people to hear your cries, to hear your grievances is foolish. And only a fool people will behave in such a manner. I've never voted for white supremacy and never plan on it. And the reason why I would never vote for them is because I would never trust them. I don't give a fuck how many babies they kiss at the political system. I don't care how many times they try to say that they're going to do something for us. Trump should let you know off the jump that that is impossible. It's impossible for you to have any kind of power because this man sat around here and sat there and told black people, what do you have to lose? Well, now we see exactly what we have to lose. I remember that coming out of Trump's mouth. Black people, what do you have to lose in voting for me? I'm going to be the best black president for black people that black people have ever saw. Please, black folks, tell me, how has that worked out for you? How has that worked out for the rest of the world? Not only does this man propagate genocide down there in Israel, he's also created more impoverishment in America than we've seen in generations. And like I told y'all, this is a dual system. Everything is dual. So the politicians are keeping the laws in order, and the private sector is keeping the people in poverty, keeping the wealth gap subjugation across the board. Period. There is no American dream for us here. Now, if you're one of those black folks that like to integrate and you feel like, hey, everything is going to be all right, we'll continue to let the Europeans continue to steal from us and subjugate and torture our people, then, keep on doing what you're doing. But for those who believe in their ancestors and want their own power and believe in their people to have the ability to do for self, then you're right at the right place because we're not asking nobody for anything. I'm not going around asking white people, hey, is it cool if black people have their own, political party and work toward taking care of their own? But no, ask them for what? Like I told y'all, the only God y'all worship is the government of democracy. We can't keep participating in this system because it's collapsing. White domination across the world is literally dying right in front of your eyes. And it's only going to get worse as these nations continue to rebel against the status quo. China and Russia have already started trading amongst themselves and got rid of the petrodollar. Iran, China, and America already have gotten rid of it. They've come out with their own strategy, which is called the BRICS, which stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. We've already, across the globe, have started to separate ourselves from imperialism, from colonization. It's already happening. We're already walking away from the tables and saying, hey, listen, if we don't get reparations, we're not participating in none of this shit. No more forced assimilation, none of that. And I know it seems to a lot of us like it's a slow process, but trust and believe it's happening. No longer will we be participating in this Democratic Republican bullshit. Because that's exactly what it is. It's horseshit. I don't trust the Democrats or the Republicans. All they done, like I've showed y'all before, nothing has changed. If we go back to, and I did this on the live already, if we go back, all you'll see is that they just keep playing you. The main reason why Trump became a Republican is because he knew that the Democrat time was up. And it was time for a Republican to be in office. So Trump became a Republican so he could join office. And he appealed to their negative racist bullshit and they put him in power. It's real simple to see once you sit down and you study it, just like the Bible. It's real simple to see once you sit down and you study it, what these people have done to maintain themselves in power. We got to stop participating in this. I don't want to see black folks when this next election coming up talking about, oh, we're going to vote for the Democratic Party. Why? So you can put more abortion clinics in your community and let your numbers continue to drop down? So you continue to be subjugated by the worst of humanity, the enslavers, the genocidal maniacs? That's what they are. So we got to walk away from this, black folks. We got to segregate ourselves again. And like I told y'all, we got a lot of things that we're coming up with that's going to help that process be made a whole lot easier for those who want to do it. And those who want to continue to participate in this American bullshit that you see that's going on now with these insane genocidal maniacs, these racist politicians, this racist government, by all means, you can continue to do all that. But it's a lot of black folks who have already joined on board who saying they're not participating in that system no more. They won't be identifying themselves as a Democrat or Republican. They're going to start honoring the words of the Honorable Malcolm X and not even participate in the system within itself. And let me tell you something. It's going to be a whole lot of so-called influential black people out there who are going to try to convince you that, hey, listen, if we just vote this time, everything will change. Did we hear that with Kamala, with Joe Biden? I literally got into an argument with my uncle, and he tried to convince me that Joe Biden getting in office was going to be a good thing because Joe Biden, even though his racist history as a senator in Delaware, was a changed man. And I had to tell my uncle, listen, Joe Biden has been practicing racism as a senator for 20 plus years. And now all of a sudden, now that he's running for office and needs the black vote, which they don't really need, but needs the black vote so that he can become a politician, become a president. Now all of a sudden, he's a changed man. And you always got these cool Negroes who will literally stand right behind these elected white officials and try to get us to buy in. But like I tell you, black folks, how has that worked out for you? How has your allegiance to the Democrat or the Republican Party, how has that worked out for you? You know how much land you have lost? Do you know that your unemployment numbers have not dropped below 35%? Do you know that your communities are still downtrodden? Do you know that your education system is still garbage? Do you know that you have no power at all? See, the worst thing a people that are enslaved could ever do is turn around and give that power right back to them. And that's what you do every time you cast your vote. You cast your vote for your own embodiment. You cast your vote for your own enslavement. You cast your vote for your own subjugation. You cast your vote to stay in poverty. You cast a vote to be terrorized. You cast your vote to be imprisoned. Every time you turn around and you cast your vote to one of these white politicians, you are casting your vote to say, hey, I still want to be enslaved. And I still believe that the white people are our masters. I know the truth hurts. I know the truth ain't sweet, nice, pretty. I get all of that. But the truth is what it is. It's like taking bitters. It's nasty, but it does so much good for you. It does so much good for you. The truth is real bitter, but it does so much good for you when you just acknowledge the fact that, hey, we can't keep going this route. We can't keep participating in this establishment. We can't keep participating in it. Look how they treat the rest of the world. Look how they talk down to everybody across the world as if everybody's their slaves. And they're not going to change their behavior. They're never going to look at you as an equal. Never. And they're never going to put their interests behind yours. Meaning that no matter how many days or how many times you sit there and you cry for reparations, you're never going to get it. Because why would the devil give anybody reparations? Do y'all understand that? The American government is the devil's government. It was founded off of slavery, built by slave owners, and has kept itself in power by enslaving the world. And the only way to get out of that system is to not participate in it. Period. And there's white people out there who will tell you that. For all you Negroes who need validation from them. We're not getting nowhere. We've made all these technological advancements for America only to see them just turn around and continue to spit in our face. So that's why I'm calling for a boycott of all American politics by black people. It's no need for us to continue to participate in a system that doesn't participate in us. And I think that that's a smart idea. If we want to provide a better future for our children, we can't be participating in this. And like I tell people, we're already breaking ground and doing what we need to be doing. We'll be going on the tour across America to have that point in to all the black communities that, hey, stop participating in this political system. We were supposed to have a black president in it by the name of Senator Clemente Pinckney, and they assassinated him. They killed him because they did not want no more black presidents in America. And if you notice anything about Barack Obama, he is not the same bloodline as our people. He is mixed of what? White and Kenyan. Nobody born and raised over here in America as an African American except for Michelle Obama. But Barack Obama himself was just a ploy to put in power. Because what did he do? He killed Muammar Gaddafi, an African president, while he had Joe Biden as his vice president. And Joe Biden had made plenty of laws against African people already while he was a senator in Delaware. So they literally used Barack Obama to establish AFRICOM in Africa and to assassinate one of their most influential political rulers over there, and Muammar Gaddafi, who had literally built up Africa himself. Then after they got rid of Gaddafi, they started a whole slave trade again in Libya. So I don't get it. But the thing about it is that once you study and you see what's going on, why are we still participating in this system? Yeah, we shouldn't be participating in none of the politics. None of them. No Democrat, no Republican, none of that. We should be building up our own power structure in every state where black people are. Every state. That way, we keep ourselves in power and never get out of power. Because if you depend on the democratic system to put you in power, you'll never be in power. Or you'll be in power and then you'll get voted out. To me, it's real simple. Stop participating in a corrupt system. Once you stop playing the game no longer affects you. Period. It's really just that simple, black folks. We have to stop, but just like the same way when the Mexicans had what they was going through, and we said, listen, we're not going to be a part of this whole ICE thing, we're not coming out there in the streets. You have to send that same message to white people. The same way the Mexicans begged us for our help to go out there and stop ICE, we got to do the same thing with politics. We don't just stop participating in politics and their aspect of it. We start participating in our own politics. We start cleaning up and taking care of our own communities. We can't continue to say, well, you know, we're just going to, no, you have to be the power that you're looking for. You can't continue to participate in the system that does not benefit you at all. You see what I'm saying? So it's like I tell y'all, if you're going to walk around and call yourself as a black person a Christian, then please, you need to be studying the Romans and what the Romans did to Christ so you'll understand why your people are subjugated the same way. And don't just let these people turn around and just tell you that, just put all of your trust in Christ and everything is going to change while they continue to subjugate and in jail and manipulate the system for their benefit. That hasn't gotten us nowhere. Sitting around waiting on Jesus to come back ain't done nothing. The only people that have come back is us. We are who we've been looking for, period. So for those who've been wondering what's the update on the Black House, believe it or not, it's already built. The location is already set, and we've already been maneuvering. The thing is that we just have to make this worldwide. So for those black folks that want to participate in this program, please call me up and we'll get to it. Because we can't sit around and continue to just think that we're just going to be Democrats and Republicans while these people continue to subjugate us. If you haven't heard about what happened over there in North Carolina, where the black woman was subjugated by the KKK over there, and the police covered up the whole situation, I'm going to break it down to you so you'll be able to see it. Shout out to the homie out there with Taylor House Publishing, who's done a tremendous job of staying on this subject of just another case of why we have to have our own power and why we can't keep letting these people subjugate us inside of our communities and terrorize our women, our children, through these fake laws that they have created, playing God to our people and murdering our children and destroying our neighborhoods through the importation of drugs and bad laws. Because that's exactly what they've been doing. And this is a very, very sad situation. I don't know if you guys heard about this situation, but this black woman was literally moved into a clan infested neighborhood, and the white people broke inside of her house, subjugated her, uh, um, got used the laws over there in their communities to have the woman's have the woman's mom taken to a house, housing for retirement people, then neglected her mother at the house to the point where her mother ended up dying. The judge asked for all kind of information and stuff like that from the police department, only to see the police department turn around and say that the film that they had on their body cams was destroyed. So they didn't want to give over that evidence, which shows you the corruption that we all know already in our communities that we face all the time. This ain't nothing new. I'm preaching to the choir. All black people know that America has been a corrupt government. We all know that white people have been corrupt since they've been over here. But we still try to, for some reason, we get convinced that these people are Christians and we still try to participate with them in this political bullshit that we call America. But we all know it's corrupt. It was based off of bullshit and it's still bullshit. And it ain't changed. Yet we still keep finding ourselves subjugated by these people who are the furthest things from Christians. So the woman's name is Gwendolyn White. You know what I'm saying? She's stuck over there in North Carolina right now. You know what I'm saying? She shot two of the lawyers who were participating in the corrupt system of trying to silence her from getting justice. And it's just a sad situation, but it's one I keep trying to tell y'all. We can't get no respect from these people. These people are evil. And they've been evil. And their whole system is corrupt and it's based off of the Masonic teachings of Set. So I advise y'all to go and check out Taylor House Publishing.
Now, she did not say anything, though, at all while in the courtroom. Her attorney obstructing our main view of her. The hearing got moved up today, earlier in the day today. She was originally set to appear this afternoon. We know White came to the Old Wayne County Courthouse Friday asking a judge to retry a claim she filed against the Rollsville Police Department. Now, she asked for body camera video of a 2021 incident involving a dispute she had with neighbors. Now, I got that video in January, and a judge dismissed the case. And Raleigh police say then White became belligerent in court on Friday during a hearing and left the courtroom. He says she went to her car, got a gun, and then shot two attorneys who represented the town of Rollsville in that case. Now, those attorneys are expected to be okay. White has posted for years on her social media about elder abuse claims she says her mother has faced for years. Now, White is being held on, she's currently being held on no bond. She's due back in court in June. And also, just a lot of new details. We're waiting to learn more, and we'll update you on air on the line. Yeah. Yeah, we should have been there real early. When I seen that 1:30, I knew something was wrong with that. When I seen that 1:30 time, I knew something was wrong with it. I said 1:30, first appearance. We started to be there early this morning. Over my boy Richard Taylor, y'all know, shut them down, shut them down, and they know, and they know, they know. Trust me, they know. They know they playing with fire. They gonna start something they don't want to start. Because y'all done did this lady wrong all this long, and then y'all playing with the people now. Because y'all knew the people was gonna show up for that lady today. 10 toes down for that lady today. Free that lady. Get that lady up on. Them lawyers live. Everybody else I know that got attempted murder charges get a bond. Get tapped on their hand. They the system. She taught them. What you think? I kind of figured, that's why I wanted to be there like earlier. I knew probably this would be too late. I really wanted to be there at 9 in the morning just to be able to be walking around because with these cases, that's how they do. They'll say one time and they'll change it. Like right there. Okay, well, I got caught at 10. I'll bring you out now. Or I pulled in caught at 11. They're going to wait. So I think that was a tactic to make sure that nobody was able to support her. So yeah, I don't feel like that's good. You know what I'm saying? These are the shirts that the lady I was with, Miss Quala Blackwell, who has been communicating with Miss Gwen for the past year, and also with their family as she's going through this ordeal. So these are the shirts that we were going to wear. You saw that was about a couple of hours ago where we were on the way to the Raleigh courthouse. And she got a message from someone saying that the hearing was over. Now, it was posted. It was.
Now, the thing is that, we've been talking about, you know, race war in America and this and that. Listen, black folks, it's been a race war in America. It's never changed. We ain't never stopped being at war with these people, period. I don't care how much niggas, you get out and think things is cool and this and that. Listen, we've been at war with these people and it ain't gonna ever stop. It only stops when you stop. You know what I'm saying? We've been at war with white America. And we gonna continue to be at war. And the same way that, what I'm saying, Iran is at war with America and Russia's at war with Europe and stuff like that. We have always been at war with America. It's been that way when Ronald Reagan was in office. It's been that way when George Bush was in office. It's been that way when Bill Clinton was in office. It's been that way when George Bush Jr. was in office. It's been that way when Barack Obama was in office. Been that way when Trump was in office. Been that way when Joe Biden's in office. And it's been that way now. It don't stop, ain't gonna stop. We'll continue to be at war with these people. And we have to get in that mind frame of understanding that we're at war. So when they keep talking about, it's going to be a race war, it's been a race war. These people been subjugating us, been lying on us, been shooting us down in the street, been kidnapping our children, been raping our women, been false imprisoning us. Don't let Hollywood fool you because you feel a few good feel stories and this, you see a good few black folks that, what I'm saying, get a few dollars and stuff like that from white folks, and don't think that things have changed. We've been at war. And that's why I tell you it's so important for us not to participate in this system. And we're going to be working on ways to segregate ourselves again because, as you see, it's not benefiting us. And if it don't benefit us, we shouldn't be a part of it, period. We've been over here all these generations only to be subjugated. No reparations, poverty, and genocide. We have to be fools to continue to think that the next president or the next governor or the next mayor is going to change our conditions, because they ain't. And like I told y'all before, it ain't the politicians that can change the situations. It's the private sector. It's the private sector that's also subjugating you too by making you pay rent to live on this planet, making you pay taxes for a government that doesn't represent you. That's all part of the system. And that's when we tell you that white supremacy is systematically racist. It is. Because it's the system itself that is subjugating the people, both in the political sector and in the private sector. All the businesses that are set up inside of your community that are black are always doomed to fail. You know why? Do you know why the black business has continued to be marginalized in America? Do you know why black farmers are continued to be attacked in America? Do you know why your public works systems in America are always trash in black communities? It's because they're not there to help you out. They're there to subjugate you and steal from you. Period. That's all that they do. And when you realize that, you'll stop participating. Like I tell them, the only party that I've ever respected is the Black Panther Party. That's it. I would never consider myself a Democrat, never consider myself a Republican, because to me, those are disgraceful parties. I sat around and watched the Democrat Party put abortion clinics in our communities. I sat there and watched Hillary Clinton support the lady, what's her name? The lady that came out with the abortion. I want to say her name is, I forgot her name, was just on the tip of my tongue. But she the one that came out with it back in the early 1900s, when she kept trying to say that black people were feeble and did not deserve to be born and all this other stuff, and that we had to have black I think Alien Margaret or something like that. I forgot her name. Y'all know who I'm talking about though, but come on, man. Why are we still participating in this system? Every time the police come and pull you over, it's not because you're an American citizen and they have concern for you. It's because they want to subjugate you. They want to oppress you. Period. Margaret Sanger, that's her name. The one that Hillary Clinton said that she was a brilliant woman. Margaret Sanger, the one who was one of the founders of the abortion Planned Parenthood clinic inside of America. And this is all documented history. This ain't something that I'm making up. This is documented history. We can't continue to be a part of this system. It's foolish for us to do that. Foolish. There's black people have to check out of this system and let white people live in their own misery. As long as we continue to participate in the Democratic Republican system, we're not benefiting from it. The only people that be benefiting from it is the black folks who getting paid by each party to help them push it. But as far as the actual people on the street, the communities, we don't benefit from the Democrat or the Republican Party at all. Period. And we never have. So I appreciate everybody that tapped in today, because I know it's hard for a lot of people to hear the truth, especially my people. You know what I'm saying? We want to believe that, these people are good, Christian, wholesome people, and that they will one day see the light of Jesus and repent of their sins and do right by their former slaves. But the thing of the matter is, that's wishful thinking. And that's going to never happen. Because, like I told y'all before, the doctrine of set is not freedom with friendship, it's freedom through domination. Meaning that they believe that the only way that they can be free is through dominating you, so they don't have to worry about being up under any subjugated law. And when you understand that, you understand their thinking. And I'm gonna show y'all exactly, because a lot of people be like, "What do you mean when you talking about sex?" So let me show you the so-called. Let me show you the truth, basically. And I don't care if we get on my channel if they try to say, "Oh, you were bringing up some." I'm not worried about it. So we gonna get into it. But if y'all could, y'all go check out my website, jewelsfromthethrone.com. Check out jewelsfromthethrone.com. Also check out become a member of my channel. You can join my channel. But yeah, what a blessing. Let me see what y'all talking about over here in the comments. Let me see what y'all talking about. I've been seeing some of y'all out there talking and stuff. I see what y'all saying. I'm not tripping though. You know, the king is going to be what he want to be. So, like I tell y'all on the time, it's always only been two kings who have ruled this world. And one of those kings is Set, and the other one is Asar. And Asar is basically African people who have been on this planet, who have been caretakers of the planet, who have made sure that the planet stays in good health, made sure that the planet is not toxified, made sure that we follow the 42 principles of Ma'at, which teaches us that dirtying up your own house is foolish, and that letting nature thrive and letting the world work within its own laws and understanding is the divine order of the universe. And then you have Set, who has always been jealous of his brother, who has always strived to subjugate his brother for power, and has always tried to subjugate the whole world to rule, to prove to his father that he is worthy of the throne. So Europeans understand this story. This is why you catch them a whole lot over there in Egypt, digging up everybody's grave that they can dig up, digging up every monument that they can dig up, because they feel that that's a shared history with them because, you know, saying obviously they are the children of Set and they are the followers and worshipers of the devil. And this has been a proven fact through the story in the Bible of Genesis, who they say that their ancestors is of Adam and Eve, of not ones who would gladly stay in the garden and eat from the tree that God has told them to eat from. The ones who did not follow the did not follow God. They are the ones who followed the devil. And therefore, when you look at the bloodline of Adam and Eve, you see that after they created Cain and Abel, their bloodline only gets worse in all of the devilishment that they have done. And that's why they were kicked up out of Africa, which is the garden, and forced to be up there in the land of Nod, which is north and Europa in the cave. So I want y'all to see this little snippet of Set proclaiming after he has killed Asar, the new documents that he has laid out for the world for everybody to follow by. And you tell me if this is not the absolute truth of what's going on now. And a lot of people are going to say, well, that's just a movie and this and that. Listen to me. A lot of times in Hollywood, a lot of these messages are conveyed to those who have the ears and the eyes to be able to see and hear the truth. And those who just think that a lot of these movies don't have no truth to them are usually the ones who don't have a understanding of history and don't understand the realm in which they're living in now. It's like I tell black folks all the time, when white folks send you to jail, that's their version of sending you to hell on earth as it is in heaven. So the same way that they're striving to build their own heaven on earth, they have also built their own hell also, which is why they call jail Jail, which you take the J and use it as an H, what does it mean? Hell. And the only people that work in hell are who? Demons and the devil. So they have manifested their own heaven and hell on this planet and have subjugated us to their version of both heaven and hell, which they control through their technology and their governmental body and system. Then they use that on you to subjugate you. And this is where they got the knowledge from. Now,
You've been awfully nice to me today. Show me your hands. What? It's for Cyrus. Show your hands.
brother. Now, mind you, like I told y'all before, when you go back and you look at the Ten Commandments, right? And the Ten Commandments, the king that had subjugated the Hebrews in that movie was called King Seti. And King Seti is one who follows Set. And Set back in ancient Egypt was our version of who the devil was. So when they had came down from the north, the Hyksos, when they came down from the north, they had established their kingdom in the capital where Set was worshipped at. And they had deemed themselves as pharaohs under the name Seti. So they was literally the devil in the Egyptian kingdom, and they had subjugated not only the Hebrews, but the Egyptian people also down in the southern part, closer towards Nubia, where they were subjugating black people back in those days also. So when you see those pictures of the Nubians in chains and shackles and stuff like that, those are up under the kings of King Seti and his bloodline that came after him, such as Ramses and those people such like that, who have those pictures of black people being in bondage. This is nothing new. So when you see the Egyptologists that say, well, black people weren't nothing but slaves back in ancient Egypt, you got to remember that those were the white people who had came down and dressed themselves up as pharaohs and were subjugating the black people up under the rule of Seti in the capital where they worship the devil at. A lot of people don't know that. So, you know what I'm saying? Once you have that understanding, you can differentiate the two of the black pharaohs who ruled over Egypt and the small minute of white pharaohs who ruled in Egypt. And that's why when you see them come out with a movie in America, the pharaohs will always have the name of the devil, which is King Seti, or as I'm about to show you in this movie, King Set, the devil himself. So, and you can go back and check this out all yourself. You know what I'm saying? This is not something that I'm just making up. This is all documented for everybody to see. So, So this is supposed to be a Sar. Now, the Europeans and the Greeks, they call him Osiris. But back in the ancient days, he was called Asar, which meant Lord of the Perfect Black. And this is supposed to be his son right here, which is Heru, which is the reincarnation of Asar through his mother, Aset, which is the first version of the Immaculate Conception, which is taught back in ancient Kemet.
hike? Oh, 3 days to cross the desert, and nearly one more to pass through all your admirers. Set, brother. Good to see you. And you, brother. There's always a place for you here. It's like a
See, this is Set, and this is his brother Asar. Now, I know what y'all think. Oh, well, this is now this person actually exists. They actually found his body, which lets you know that this person actually exists. Yet, that's a whole nother different story. But I just want to catch y'all up on what's actually been going on within these last couple thousands of years of what's been actually going on. Like I told you, Asar actually exists. They actually found his body in Egypt, but that's little known to a lot of people. They don't know that.
big day for the family. You must be proud. I am. Look at you, nephew. Magnificent. At least someone here will make a fine game. I was afraid you wouldn't come. No, I wouldn't miss it. Ah, for you. A hunting horn. From the skull of a ram that flattened 10 guards slower than me. It's beautiful. Yeah? Try it out. From Set. Let Ra himself hear you.
Let Ra himself for you.
I think someone heard you. You recognize it. Father gave it to you. Kept me alive for many a night in the desert. Fight me. Father, don't. Stay out of this, son. Why? In 1,000 years of peace, what have you accomplished? A land of people who dream of nothing more. It's my turn now. I won't fight. I love you, brother. With all my heart. Me love you too, brother. It's so easy to become a podcaster with Riverside. Go to Riverside and open an account.
As you see, and like I told y'all before, even though a lot of people, because we don't have a lot of the memory that we had before, a lot of people believe that this is fictional, but this is actual documented history that, what I'm saying, Asar was assassinated and killed by his brother, Set, who was, what I'm saying, and was and still is considered the original devil of this world. So when you hear the story of Cain and Abel, of Abel being able to literally do anything that he wants to do, and being that he grew the grass and everything that up from the ground, that's the same jealous story that you hear of the story, which comes from the original story of Asar and Set. Set, who had a wife that was barren, that never bare him no children or anything like that. And what I'm saying, that has a lot to do with Europeans within themselves of being what they call excessive gene pool, who doesn't have the same ability to uh, uh, procreate at the same rate as African people do, who can procreate basically at will because we are the divine people. But I want the main part that I really wanted y'all to hear on here is the laws that he has subjugated to the people.
King of all Egypt. You're one true king. I. Listen. Well, this truly is a big day for the family. I, Set, shall be your one true king. King of all Egypt. Behold the fate of those who stand in my way. Lord, bow before me or die.
Now, when you see Set says that he wants all the gods to bow before him or die, what he's talking about is the elements of the universe, such as electricity, such as power, such as all the different deities that we worshiped and understood that brought civilization to man. Once Set got in power, then what he did was he made all of those elements bow down to him and to his control, and he uses those same elements now over the people, such as your electricity, such as your water, all the different deities that we worship in ancient Egypt. He now subjugates the people to those deities, and he doesn't let the people get it for free. You have to work for it, and that's what he's about to say on here.
Worship me or be enslaved.
Worship me or be enslaved.
My brother thought the afterlife was a gift. I think your king should have higher standards. From now on, you have to buy your way in with riches earned.
You hear that? I really want y'all to understand that. You heard what said? He said, my brother thought that the afterlife was a gift. But up under the rule of Set, you would have to buy your way in through riches earned. Now look at the society in which you live in now. Do you have to buy your way in through riches earned? Is the afterlife a gift for you? It is not. When the Native Americans who lived here, who were living up under the 42 principles of Ma'at, there was no such thing as buying your way into heaven. The afterlife was a gift for everybody because Asar had went and prepared the afterlife for us. So therefore, heaven was free. So therefore, your cost of living was free. Your establishments of how you buried your people was free. Everything was free in life. And when I say free, I mean real freedom. Nobody had, when over here in America, before the Europeans came, over here in America, before the Europeans came, everything was free. Food was free. Water was free. Housing was free. Everything was free. Now, up under the European rules, up under Set, nothing is free no more. It's just a word that they use because they know that it triggers something inside of your mind when it comes to being free. You see that? And they put, like I tell people all the time, they literally hide in plain sight. So they don't want you to know that. And like I tell people, you can go back and you can go listen to the go watch the 10 Commandments. These people have been devil worshippers for a very long time. The Roman Empire up under Caesar, Caesar and Set, the same thing. And then when you go back and you look at the Roman emperors, they were all devil worshippers. Even the dog that you see that they say that they come from, that is establishment of the kingdom, is really the symbol of Set. The so-called creature that they didn't know what Set was just basically a symbol of disorder and chaos. So we literally have been living up under an establishment of the devil over here in America. And that's why when you see that the founders of this nation such as George Washington, who was a Mason. He wasn't a follower of a Tsar, he was a follower of Set. There's two Masonic orders, the order of Asar and the order of Set. The one who makes everything free and the one who makes everything enslaved. And that's how it's always been over here in this world. Freedom, slavery. One who brings freedom to the world and the one who brings slavery to the world. In order to get people to do things against their will, you must enslave them. And as you see, that's what Set has done. And that's why when you see them talk about in the Ten Commandments of which Pharaoh that it was that enslaved the Hebrews, they put it right there in the movie for you to see. It was Seti. It was those who followed the order of Set. And they worshiped the devil in the capital as Set as being the ruler. So, a lot of times people get everything confused because they don't really understand the history of the world. So, being that they don't understand the history of the world, the devil can continue to use confusion. But the devil always exposes himself because he likes to see his own mischief, just like every other demon does. And that's why it's so hidden in plain sight. And these movie directors keep coming out with these Egyptian movies that keep basically praising Set as a king who killed the Tsar, who was the leader of the original people of the planet, and subjugated the whole world to slavery. I want to rewind that, man, because I really want y'all to understand, but they understand it. The people over here in Hollywood and places like that, they know the truth. They know the truth. So they have to, they get it out there hoping that people will be able to catch on to it. But a lot of times it shoots over everybody's head because nobody really believes in what they call Egyptian mythology because they believe that it was just a myth until you find out that these people were actually real and that their bodies were actually found. Then the myth becomes fact. Of higher standards. My brother thought the afterlife. My brother thought the afterlife was a gift. I think a king should have higher standards. From now on, you have to buy your way in with riches earned. To buy your way in with riches earned. From now on, you have to buy your way in with riches earned. From now on, you have to buy your way in with riches earned. From now on, you have to buy your way in with riches earned. From now on, you have to buy your way in with riches earned. From now on, you have to buy your way in with riches earned. My brother thought the afterlife was a gift. I think a king should have higher standards. From now on, you have to buy your way in with riches earned. So we literally went, peace, peace. So we literally went from a society and a world where everything was free to now you have to buy your way in through riches earned. Now you please tell me that you're not up under the rule of Set. Where literally people went from a free society, a free world where nature thrived and flourished up under the rule of a Tsar to a world now subjugated to a world now where people are completely enslaved. The world has changed, and it hasn't changed for the better. Everybody is living up under the devil's rule right now. And it's sad to see that, what I'm saying, my people have found ourselves again subjugated up under those who worship Set, those who do not bring freedom to the world, but those who tell us that in order for you to get to heaven on earth, you must earn it through riches earned. You must buy your way into heaven. Because, like I tell you, black folks, when the Europeans came over here, they came over here to build up their version of heaven on earth and to subjugate the people who were living in heaven and turn their reality from heaven to hell. And that's what they have done. They have turned the world, who people who lived up under heaven, where everything was free, nature was free, the people were free, to now rat infested cities, poverty, drugs, toxic communities, and now everybody is subjugated to the power of Set. And now, instead of you being able to go to heaven, you have to earn your way through heaven to riches earned. They say that Set, when they say that Asar, when he came down from Nubia and established the kingdom of Egypt, that he made burying your ancestors, burying your loved ones free, food free, housing free. And that's why you hear Set say that on here, that in 1,000 years of peace, what have you accomplished? But the main thing that he didn't understand that Asar was, the main thing that he had accomplished was peace for 1,000 years. Now, up under the rule of Set, there is no peace. It's just constant war. One war to the next war, 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 to the next war. And when people be talking about the Anunnaki and all of this other stuff and those who came from heaven, which is what Anunnaki means, you have to understand that those people are us. We are who we have been looking for. But there's always just been two kings that have always ruled over us: the king of peace, Asar, and the king of war, Set. And these are actual people, actual beings that have great power. And when you take yourself down that, what we call that rabbit hole of enlightenment, of studying the ancients and how they lived, then you start to see, like, wow, one of the greatest tricks that the devil ever did was convince the people that he didn't exist. And that's why it was so much of a campaign against the Nation of Islam, when the Masons of the Nation of Islam actually came and established that the Europeans were devils. There was a big uproar about that. If you go back and you look at Malcolm X and the speeches of white people being mad at the nation coming out and classifying them as devils, it made them very, very upset that that knowledge was revealed. And the reason why it made them upset is because the devil does not want nobody to know who he is. And being that he does not want nobody to know who he is, he can keep operating as if everything that he's doing is normal. But once you expose him for what he is, then he can't hide behind the cloak of invincibility or being invincible. And it's all right there in history. And we're going to go deep into that because a lot of times when you talk to the Christians and, you know what I'm saying, you talk to them about the actual history of the Bible and, you know what I'm saying, who was this supposedly this Pharaoh that had enslaved the Hebrews, they never really want to tell you the truth that it was actually them. Because in order for them to tell you that, you'll start to see that there's a pattern of behavior that keeps happening of the devil constantly looking to enslave the indigenous populations of this planet, to take them for their wealth, take them for their resources, and use those wealth and that resources to put themselves in heaven. All of the creation of things that they want to make, they have to have resources for that. And a lot of times, a lot of those resources are in places where black people dwell, such as Africa. Why? Because that's the Garden of Eden. So therefore, all of the places where the sun shines consistently is going to have the minerals that come from the sun, is going to be trapped down in the soil and can be used for technology. That's why there's so much of abundance of these minerals in Africa because Africa receives so much sunlight. Whereas places that don't receive sunlight like that don't get those things. Peace and blessings. I wasn't even thinking about nobody calling. What's up, though? You want to speak? Say something?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up, my brother? And blessings, man.
Blessings, blessings. How you doing today, brother?
Yeah, man. Good to hear you, man. I had to tap in with you. What movie is that right there? I just tapped in with that, but you was like not too long ago. What movie is that?
That's called The Gods of Egypt. If you remember a couple years ago, and this I show you how crazy black folks is. A couple years ago, they had came out with this movie called The Gods of Egypt. And during that movie with the gods of Egypt, Set and Asar was, you know what I'm saying, as black people and I mean was painted as white. Well, not painted, but the characters in that movie were all white. So black folks had a whole big old uproar that the ancient Egyptians were characterized as white people, as opposed to actually studying what was actually going on. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of that just flew over our people heads. Like when Seth come and he says that, hey, you know, for now on, you know what I'm saying? We're going to have higher standards now. And, you know what I'm saying? In order to get yourself into heaven, you're going to have to earn it through riches earned. And that's a powerful statement. That's a powerful statement that yeah.
That's a powerful statement. One of these guys, like my boxing coach, you know, he a pastor.
Uh-huh.
You know, he got his way of looking at it, but he always say, "Yeah, we in the kingdom of earning and deserving." You know,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? This ain't our kingdom or whatever, whatever. But you know what's crazy? First, before I even say that, I literally, this is no cap. I literally just went to the bank just now and put in my check. We talk about earning and deserving and riches, whatever. I just deposit my check. And then, I don't know what the hell on the screen. I never seen it before. It says, "Sit, remember me." Like, what the fuck?
It said what?
That's crazy. But you know what's crazy too, man? It's so much that just makes so much sense. You know what I mean? We get, of course, you know, we as a people collectively ain't necessarily gonna agree on every single thing, but it's so much truth in what you saying and all this. You know what I mean? I think this is just like, first of all, I appreciate, you know, your work, man. You taking your time out to even help rejuvenate my spirit to this walk. You know what I'm saying? I know I definitely was led to you. You know what I'm saying? My energy gravitated to you, but like even thinking of this, like in the morning time, what do they call it? They call it sun what?
Sun.
They call it sunrise.
Sunrise.
They
Yeah.
call it sunrise in the morning, right?
Yeah.
Then in the evening, then when it get dark, what they call it?
Sunset.
Sunset.
Yeah.
Sunset.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, this is so crazy. You see what I'm saying? This is so crazy. You know what I mean? We definitely living in the kingdom of the devil, however you want to put it. You know
Hey,
what I'm
listen,
saying?
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna add on, to what you're saying. I live over here close to Hollywood, right? So
Right.
one of the most famous and most devilish streets out here in Hollywood is guess what street?
What's that?
Sunset.
Sunset Boulevard.
Sunset
That's
Boulevard.
crazy.
So all of the
That's crazy.
clubs and a lot of that stuff where they all live on Sunset Boulevard. So
Come on, man.
you know, it's like I said, it's hiding in plain sight, bro, because they still follow that knowledge. And being that they still follow that knowledge, a lot of this whole country is built off of Masonic knowledge. So when you look at the way that Washington D.C. was designed, if you look at the way that George Washington put the magic into the temples when they was building them up over there in Washington D.C., they did all of that according to Masonic rituals, but their Masonic rituals are all according to them. Because, like I said, it's only two people on this planet. Everybody else is in between. It's either you're black or you're non-melanated. Period. And it's the same way if you look and you study Set. Set was was the brother of Asar, just like the white man is our brother, but he's not the same. He comes from the deserted land. What's the deserted land? The deserted land is what? It's Europe. No animal they kill. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They come from the deserted land. So the thing about it is that in order for Set to get in power, because we naturally have power, we naturally get everything from the universe because we're born with all. We're born with melanin, yep. So literally we were born with all. We're born in Africa, so therefore we're born with all the animals, all the trees, all the fruit, all the land, all the gold, all the diamonds. We're born literally with that walking underneath our feet. Whereas them, they're not born with none of that. They don't have no melanin, gold. They don't have nothing. The only way they get it is through stealing or through killing. Yeah. And that's the curse. That's the curse that's been placed upon them. So they don't worship. You know what I'm saying? God within themselves. Or I mean, let me take that back. They do worship God. God stands for government of democracy, but they don't worship Ra, the sun. They worship the devil. They worship Set, and this is documented history. And they're like you said, they worship darkness. They don't worship the light. And that's why you see them constantly putting themselves out there in movies as being what? Vampires. And what do vampires do? They drink the blood of the people. That's right. Like the 10 percenters do. They drink the blood of the people. And they also, yeah, and they also keep themselves away from the what? The light. Now as they do in all movies, they over exaggerate that and be like, they go out there and turn into a pillar of smoke, which they don't do, but they do get they do get burned by the sun when they go out there in the sun, and they know that. So the vampires is that over exaggerated version of what they really are, which is why when you see their culture, that's what they every 5 weeks you're going to see a new vampire movie come out because it's a constant reminder to themselves culturally who they are. Yeah, yeah, that's so powerful. How you said that. That's a reminder of culturally who they are. Because, like again, you can say Set, Ashar, whatever name you want to put on it, it's the same story. So, for example,
You got you got uh Cain and Abel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Abel, it's the same story. So what I mean by that is Cain killed his brother.
Yep.
You feel me? He killed his brother. He got that mark on him. What's the mark? He got turned white.
Yeah.
He got turned white. And then the Most High said, all right, you're going to be a vagabond and a fugitive in the earth. That's what he is.
Yeah.
He's a vampire in the earth. All the continents of like you said, the indigenous people they got going on, they conquer or whatever they got going on, and they imitate the people of that land.
Yeah.
They imitate, and they everywhere they go, they however they conquer the situation, then they do an identity swap, swap.
Yep.
Now they the Indians, now they the Africans, now they the whoever, now they're the Moors, now they're the Pope, now
Yeah.
that's what they are. They just vampires. They suck your energy out, then they imitate you because they know you better than you know who you are. Like you just made that statement, the Anunnaki, that's you.
Yeah.
You looking for you. You feel me? You so spooked out. Oh man, the Anunnaki coming. You already here.
Already here.
But they done trick your mind and they think it's something else, and they pretend to be something because, like you said, they don't have nothing. Like you said, with Jacob and Esau, same story. However, whatever name you want to put on it, he told Esau, he said, by your sword, he said, your younger brother gonna serve you is gonna be the ruler. The younger brother gonna have the blessing, but your blessing gonna be gonna have the fatness of the earth. However, by your sword shall you live. You can't live outside of your sword. You can't live in peace. See what I'm saying? And then anybody that got cursed in the Bible got turned what color?
White. Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anybody that got, like you said, it ain't no racism. It just is what it is. It's just truth. It is what it is. Hate the truth, love the truth. It is. You can't fabricate it. It is what it is. So, but that's so crazy, man. How you put that together, even with the whole Pharaoh situation. I ain't considered. I was reading the book of Exodus the other day, and it just opened my mind even more. Like, wow, that was white folks. That at that time they done came through and got the people out the land. You know what I'm saying? It just makes sense. And like they know how better than us. They waiting for us to wake up. That's go ahead.
You know how when you hear, the Hebrew Israelites say that, the reason why, what I'm saying, we fell for grace is because we started not following the commandments and stuff like that.
Right.
The thing about it is that when that had happened, right, in Goshen, right, people were already at that time, Set was not looked at as an evil deity. He was just looked at as the opposite. It wasn't until he to the people, because this was so cold about the power of words. As the people kept worshiping Set, right? He literally manifested himself back in Egypt and subjugated the people then. So then they found themselves in Goshen, which was right next to I want to say it's Avaris. It was right next to Avaris, where they was worshiping Set at, and they found themselves subjugated in that same town where they were worshiping at. So literally through them worshiping him, they manifested him back into existence and found themselves subjugated to him. Because the thing about it, what people don't understand with the devil is that, and you can go check this out, Joe. I'm gonna bring this up too, though. But we'll do this on another time. But you'll find out is that when you study the history of the devil, right? Is that when the people start calling for the devil to manifest himself into existence, he does come. Because what people don't understand when you study duality is that human beings are made up of a rainbow. You hear me? So you have people that are weak and you have people that are strong. You have people that are fat, you have people that are skinny. You have people that are super intelligent and you have people that are what? Non-intelligent. Super stupid.
Right.
Then you have people that are super positive and people that are what?
Super negative.
Super negative. So that super negative being does exist. And that super positive being does exist. How do I know that? Because the mathematical equation of human evolution shows you that. That these beings that are supremely negative actually exist, and these beings that are supremely positive actually exist. That's how I know for a fact that when we're talking about supreme positivity within man, that does exist on this planet, and that is still practiced in certain people like the Dalai Lama and stuff and like that, who still practice that supreme positivity of keeping people at peace, but they are, you know what I'm saying, martial arts masters because they have learned how to master themselves. And then you have those beings that are supreme negative beings, you know what I'm saying, who practice just the worst of evilness and have, you know what I'm saying, the shit that'll make the average man stomach curl. Scratch his head. You know what I'm saying? To them is normal. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So those beings actually exist. So back in ancient Kemet, we had a name for them. One was the god of chaos, which was Set, and the other one was the god of peace, which was Asar. Yeah. And and I know this for myself from being this successful and happy. It's hard to take a man who has been born with everything to be ambitious to conquer anything because he's already been born with everything. That's right. Whereas a man who has not been born with anything is super ambitious. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So in this movie, and that's why I keep telling you, like, you know, Hollywood is just like, you know, we don't know what's going on or this and that or whatever. But for some reason, every time they keep showing you these Egyptian pharaohs, the ones that done all the most damage is always named what? Set or Seti. And these are actual, yeah, these are actual documented human beings, just like Asar. A lot of times, for a long time, people thought that Osiris or Asar was a mythological being until they found his grave and found his body. And then what happens is everything that we thought was just fiction, you know what I'm saying, fictional, actually turned out to be what? Nonfiction. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's cool. I remember that you had a real fire teaching maybe a couple weeks ago. You was just talking about you know, how they were saying, listen, man, ain't no such thing as peace. We win through dominance, you know, domination and through victory. Oh, I'm talking about Star Wars. That was definitely And what's the opener, man. What's the devil in Star Wars? What's his name? Darth Vader? Nah, it's Darth Vader, but what is he called though? I don't know. I ain't familiar with Star Wars. I never really watched it. It's the same thing. It's Set. It's Set, ain't it? The same thing. It's the same thing. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Yeah, they hide everything in the movies, man. So Set. So you say Set? He's not necessarily a spiritual being right now. He's alive, or he's just a spiritual situation. No, he's alive. He alive in the flesh, or alive in a different dimensions, manifesting through the earth. No, his name is Trump. Ah, okay. So incarnation. Well, the thing about it is that you gotta understand something. It's a Masonic order. Okay, I get you. So when you study the Star Wars, they live by the rule of two, where you have the master and the apprentice. Yeah. So the master right now is Trump. His apprentice is JD Vance. So they're still following the same Masonic order that was laid down to them by the original king, which is Set, which was passed down to George Washington. George Washington is the one who started building the temples of Set in Washington, D.C. So
Okay, okay.
so when you it's like we look at it as black folks and we think it's like we done fell into some random shit where we just done got enslaved by these Europeans and they just subjugated us and this and that. But when you really start studying it, it's like, no, this ain't no random shit. This
Nah,
is something that they have been continuing on to get themselves in power for thousands and thousands of years.
mm,
And it's a game that keeps playing itself, which is the same game of the universe of darkness fighting against light and light fighting against darkness. It's just acted out
yeah,
in human beings
that's right.
because we
Ah, that's
because we
right.
are the actors
That's right.
of the universe.
Mm, that's crazy, man. That's super powerful, man. And it take away the spookism of it. It bring it to real life. You feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
See, a
It
lot of
bring
what
it
they
to
done
real
sold
life.
us, what they done sold us is this. Heaven only exists within the spirit realm and not in the physical realm, and that's a lie. Because
That's
heaven
right.
does exist in the physical realm. Because if it didn't exist, why would you sit there and enslave people and indoctrinate them for all this time, while at the same time that you enslaving them and indoctrinating them, you over here digging up gold, diamonds, and jewelry and building yourself mansions and houses and luxury cars and all this other stuff?
Absolutely.
You see what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
And that make that point what you said, the guys in Egypt, I gotta check that out. And I still gotta check out that Killer Clans, man. I still gotta check that out. It's been in my mind.
Yeah.
But that's how you know it's in the flesh or in the physical realm. Because first of all, we spirits, we just housed in the body, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But anyway, that's how you know it is because this is hell on earth.
Yeah,
This
for
is hell on
us.
earth. The shit that we see out here every single day, this
Yes.
is hell. We think it's a motherfucking, it's some spooky shit. No, this is real life hell. You see what I'm saying about?
Real
Like you
life,
said,
bro.
in this kingdom, it gotta be through wages and riches. That's how you get your heaven.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. To riches earned.
The riches earned. The riches earned. That's how you get your heaven.
Yeah.
You
Whereas
can't just you
before,
can't just have faith and be a good righteous man. Nah, you got to riches earned, and they might have you do something diabolical to get these riches. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? Have you do something to
Whereas before, if you
listen.
go back and you look at this, that's why you see, you got to really analyze the Bible. In the Bible,
Yeah,
with Adam and Eve, they were
yeah,
already set in the garden that had everything already.
yeah,
So all your food,
yeah.
all your fruit, you didn't have to earn nothing. Everything was literally handed to you. The
Mm,
trees were already provided you with everything. The garden was already built by God, built by Ra already.
mm-hmm.
So all you had to do was literally just eat from the trees. But no, Adam and Eve didn't want to do that. They went
Yeah.
to the tree of knowledge. And then when they went to
Mm-hmm.
the tree of knowledge, once they was talked in by the serpent to
Mm-hmm.
eat from the tree of knowledge, they figured out that they were what? Naked.
Yeah,
So they went from being innocent people, right?
yeah.
Who did not know that they were no different than any other beast of the field, right?
Mm-hmm.
To now they're walking around thinking that they're naked and they're supposed to be this, that, and whatever. So then the penalty for that was now you get kicked out of the garden, right? And then
Yeah.
once you get kicked out of the garden, the first kids you have, they end up turning on each other and killing each other, and then they get banished off to the land of Nod, and they get that red dot on their forehead. But we ain't gonna talk about that. But they get that little dot on
Mm,
their forehead, and they get land out to the land of Nod, which is over there in India, and within those places, they done left Africa from where everybody know where we come from, and now they get pushed off to the other ends of the earth. So now when
mm.
they get pushed off to the
It's crazy,
yeah.
man. I ain't gonna lie. And in the end, like you said, a lot of, like I said, I'm definitely, I'm a Old Testament kind of guy. The New Testament, I'm already know that's straight, straight bull garbage in my book. But I mean, you can find truth in anything, though. You can find
Well,
truth
the thing
anywhere. And
about
I
it,
do know
well, you have
the
to.
Bible
It's
was
all
tempered
about
with
perspective. It's about perspective. See, once you understand
yeah,
what side you're on, once you
yeah,
understand what side you're on, then the Old and the New Testament makes sense. But once you
yeah,
don't, when you, but when
yeah,
you don't,
right.
Yeah, when you don't have that understanding of what side you're on, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to remember when white folks say this all the time. Through Jesus, now we're free. Through the blood of Jesus.
There you go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what's funny? And like you said, perspective is everything, right? And I was reading, because I barely read the New Testament, I was reading it the other day, and I was getting some insight just because my perspective is different. But speaking on that, like you said, through the blood of Jesus, right? You know how people say, I'm covered in the blood of Christ. You know what I'm saying? First of all, that sounds crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm covered in the blood. You feel me? That alone is a crazy ass statement. When you, if I'm covered in the blood in real life, and if you see me right now covered in blood,
yeah,
you calling the police.
Man.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They locking me up today. They figuring out what the fuck this is. What was going on? You killing animals or something? You covered in blood though?
Yeah.
You feel me? That whole idea is so crazy. And then let me ask you this. All right, check this out. And I'm gonna let you go. All right. Now, hypothetically, of course, right? Say you got a loved one, man. You love so much. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna put wife, husband, wife, mom, whatever. Somebody you deeply, deeply love, right? Hypothetically, right? And you deeply love this person. Okay. So, say for instance, if this person that you love so much one day got hit by a train, right? Would you go get a necklace and put a train on your neck and say, you know, I wear this little charm of a chain of a train on my neck because my daughter got ran over by a train, so I wear this train. Don't that sound stupid?
Sound crazy.
What if you had a loved one and then they OD off of heroin through the needle? Would you get a chain on your neck and attach a needle on your neck and say, yeah, my uncle, I love my uncle. Why you got a needle on your chain though? Because my uncle OD'd on heroin, you know. Yeah. He OD'd on heroin, so you know I wear this needle. Yeah. Or lastly, if your loved one got stabbed by some scissors and got killed, would you put some scissors around your neck as a remembrance of, hey, you know, my best friend got stabbed by scissors, so I wear scissors on my neck? That sounds crazy, right?
Sound crazy.
So why in the world would you wear a chain of a cross on your neck and say, my Lord and Savior died on the cross, so I wear a cross on my neck? You might as well wear a noose on your neck.
You might as well wear a noose on your neck.
See what I'm saying?
And see, you know, it's so crazy.
Man, this is crazy.
This how crazy it is, brother, is that once you understand that, right? And when you listen to them and they tell you, because they literally hide it, and they, you know, the cold thing about it is that, you know, the devil will constantly repeat it to you till you think that it's actually normal. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that it's part of the hypnotism of them hypnotizing your mind. So if they can get you to participate in the ritual, right, of drinking of this man, hypnotizing you and drinking this man's blood and eating of this man's flesh. Yes, on Sunday, right? Not outside, but in a cave, right? That they call a church, right? The thing about it is that now you're participating in the ritual. So now you have accepted the fact that the person that they killed, who they got power through, because literally, you know what I'm saying, if you kill the king, right, then you take over his possessions as that king, right? So when they killed Jesus, they got rid of the power structure of the Messiah that they, and then they subjugated the people. So when they tell you that they got their freedom through Christ, they're talking about they got their freedom through the killing of him, which gave them, because the same people, and I still tell people this all the time, the same people who historically killed Jesus is the same people who are still in power now.
Ooh, come on, man. Come on, man. The wool over our people's eyes is crazy. That's crazy, bro. I'm gonna keep it real. That's crazy, man. But I ain't gonna lie, I appreciate your show, bro. Again, you know what I'm saying? You definitely doing the most hard work, man. You know what I'm saying? Keep that righteousness up, man. You inspire me, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna do my duties over here in Ohio. You know what I'm saying? And represent this way. You feel me?
Yeah.
And
I
you're
want you to get
right,
a
man.
part of
You're
our
right,
Black
man.
House program too, man. Like we want to
It
build
is
up
what it
on.
is. It's a fight.
I told you I want you to be a part of the Black House program too, man. Because like I said, like we can't keep thinking, man, that every 4 years we gonna be voting for these Democrats and these Republicans,
Right.
and we're gonna be getting some right kind of power. You know what I'm saying, from the devil. You know, unless you want power from the devil. I don't want no power from the devil.
Go.
You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. That's a fact. Man, we gonna definitely tap in, bro.
Yeah.
I wanna be able to holler at you even outside of this. If it be, you know what I'm saying, the most high will, if you was willing or whatever. But yeah, you said the Black House, what?
Just the Black House. We're not building the White House. We're building the Black House. You know the old word for Pharaoh. You know when you look at the word Pharaoh, what it means is it means big house. So anytime a kingdom is established, right, it's established as a house, and that's where they get it from. They get it because the same principles of running a kingdom is the same principles of running a house. It's no different. You have to manage you have to manage everything the same way you run the kingdom is the same way you run a house. So you know the same principles that apply to running a house is the same principles that apply to running the kingdom. It's just magnitude. You know what I mean? So it's like, like I tell people all the time, you know what I mean? What they have done, brother, and it's just so crazy when you sit back and thinking about it. What they have done is they've got us to participate in the worshiping, yeah, of our dead king. But I don't even mean in the aspect of, them, all praising Zeus, or, you know what I'm saying, as we say Zeus or whatever.
I know exactly where you're coming from. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we were in, that's where even, they say in the last days or whatever, you'll read and say, King David and he'll be a prince of peace and the government shall rest upon his shoulders. You know what I'm saying? I understand where you're coming from.
Now, let me make this last point to you. Let me make this last point to you. So I'm gonna make this last point to you, and I want you to hear this for you and the listeners. You remember when you hear said on there, and he says that, you know what I'm saying, I think that a king should have higher standards. You hear me?
Yeah.
Now I want you to think about Europeans and how when they talk to African people, right?
Yeah.
And they tell us that how we was living in mud huts and how, you know what I'm saying, our civilization didn't have electricity and we didn't have running water and we didn't have this, that, or whatever, right?
Right.
And how they try to use the elements of the universe when he subjugated the elements for his power, how he used the elements of the universe to run his kingdom, right?
Mm-hmm.
He tells us the same thing. You got to remember, every time he talks to every black man and he tells us about how we were living in mud huts, that's the same statement that you see coming from Set on the TV screen when he's telling everybody that he wants everybody that now he thinks that a king should have higher standards because he's coming in to set a new rule. And he's going to be raising up people's standards of living and this and that. But what people don't understand is that up under the rule of Set, yes, you have running water. Yes, you have electricity. Yes, you have rock houses and stuff like that, as opposed to mud huts and things like that, or mud mansions like the Pharaoh had. But at that cost of that is what you have: no freedom. You're not even no longer you're no longer connected to nature no more. You're subjugated by man and his will. You know what I'm saying? So the trade-off for all of this so-called technological advancement is that no longer where you lived up under nature and nature providing you with everything that you need. Now man has set the rules for you. So now instead of you actually living up under nature, now you live up under Set. Mm. And
That's so cold, man.
Yeah, it's It's so crazy because to the average person, you understand it, but to the average person, because they don't have that historical reference, everything that I'm saying right now sounds like mythology, but it's not.
It ain't though. That's so crazy, man. I ain't gonna lie, cause I've been looking all over for it, man. I was looking for my Matter Netter, man. That book is on point, bro. That book,
Yeah.
that Matter Netter book is. I know you hip, you big hip.
So the
But that
thing
Matter
is
Netter
that a
book
lot
so
of
on
people don't
point,
believe
bro.
that magic exists. They just, yeah, they don't believe that magic exists. Yeah, they don't believe that magic exists. They don't believe that the ancestral knowledge of how to manifest things into existence, telekinesis, and things, all these different
Bro,
powers
check
that we
this
have.
out, bro. I'm gonna keep it a being with you.
Hmm.
Before I let you go, this is real life. This is real life, man. I'm not lying. I ain't making it up. A couple years ago, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just, meditating, do my thing.
Hmm.
And I'm getting real creative, right? In my meditations, right? I'm like, let me see if I could do this in my mind, right?
Yeah.
So I'm lighting incense or whatever. So in my mind, I'm imagining things moving across the room, moving objects and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm imagining this shit, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So long story short, so I'm imagining for a couple of days, I'm just moving kind of like ghostly. I'm moving kind of meditating in that kind of trance-like energy. You feel me?
Yeah.
Man, when I say things start moving across the room and flying over here, because that's what I was meditating on. I was imagine see if I can move this. And next you know, things start moving. Pew, pew, pew. I'm like, oh, I'm tapping into some other shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Real life, bro. And that was around the time I was manifesting some magical things. I'm like, okay, I gotta watch out how I'm moving. You feel me? I don't know what I'm summoning right now, but yeah, that's real. That's real. Like the fire and all that, and doing all that stuff. That's real, man. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, you know,
For sure.
our brains, man, our brains are magnetic. You know what I'm saying? We have a supercomputer inside of our mind that literally can process things past the speed of light. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that we don't know how to tap to that energy because we're constantly bombarded through Hollywood to believe in that magic is supposed to be this way, as opposed to looking at magic in the simplest form of, say, for instance, right? I drive by you, right? And when I drive by you, me and you, we look at each other and be like, damn, why did we just connect like that? You know what I'm saying? As opposed to understanding that we are vibrating a magnetic field off of our brains and off of our bodies. And this is a scientific fact. We are vibrating a magnetic field off of our body. Like I got a brand new Tesla Model X that I bought, right? And when you drive in the Tesla, you know what I'm saying? If you get close to a car, you'll see the little magnetic post come off of the car, and the little magnetic post will be like, let you know, like, oh, you're getting too close to something, and it'll start to vibrate. But if you go look outside the car, you don't see that magnetic pulse because it's an electromagnetic wave that's coming off of the sensors of the car that's sending back the information that lets you know that there's something that's close to the car because you can feel it, because the car can feel it through the magnetic vibration that's come up off of there. Now, being that we are electromagnetic beings that charge and decharge every single day, right? We possess the same magnetic field. So what happens is that when I'm driving down the street and I'm vibrating at a high level, right? And you cross within my vibrational field, right? You automatically are going to lock in with me and see me, and we're going to make a magnetic connection with each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But the
Yes,
thing
sir.
is that
That's so powerful, man. I gotta tap more into that because you had said something last week or something like that. Like you was along the line saying some stuff. Like you, and I get what you mean, but you was like, I ain't really reading the books no more. I'm manifesting.
yeah,
I'm like, yeah, that's what time it is. You know what I'm saying? That's what time it is. You know what I mean? It's time to, like you say, telekinesis, use your magic, use your brain. Like Tupac used to always say, use your brain. You know
use
what I'm
your
saying?
brain.
You gotta use your brain because that is where the magic acting is funny because it reminds me of all the X-Men movies and the mutant, the people that was, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah,
Yeah,
we the X-Men. We the ones that got
yeah.
those superpowers that can tap in and make it rain. And man, I'm talking about I tapped into some stuff back in the day. and I was making stuff happen. You know what I mean
Yeah.
with my magic. You feel me? And I ain't. We got these jobs that got us distracted from what's going on.
Well, that was the whole point.
So I'm saying they want you to stay.
Yes, that was the whole point. See, the thing is, you have to remember is that, you know what I'm saying, we're magnetic beings. So we literally are tapped into the whole electrosphere that runs across this whole planet, right? So in the whole, basically the whole universe, you're correct. You know what I mean? So when you look at the Europeans' form of technology, right? To them studying electromagnetic waves, electromagnetic pulse, the science of negative and positive energy coming together and creating electricity, the science of man and woman coming together and creating life, understanding that that same principle is still all the same, right? They learn how to use that electromagnetic pulse and that energy to tap into the waves of the universe so they can tell you what time. I mean, they can tell you when it's going to rain, you know what I'm saying, how heavy the clouds are with water, you know what I'm saying, the solar flares that come from the sun that send out electricity, you know what I'm saying, and knowledge from the universe and the stars and how they send out knowledge from the universe and the infrared beams that come, all of these different elements that we're all a part of. What they have done is that they have used those elements to magically hypnotize the people with the screens, with the TV screens that send out electromagnetic pulses that tap into your brain and make things that aren't true. You know what I'm saying? So they've learned the science of how to hypnotize people by using TVs, using the phone, using radio signals and things of that nature because they know that human beings themselves are electromagnetic receivers. You know what I'm saying? And black people are really, really good at electromagnetic receiving because we're coated in melanin. So being that we're coated in melanin, we receive more radiation from the sun. So we receive more electromagnetic energy than anybody else do. The thing is that we haven't learned how to just trust ourselves. Like for instance, if your brain tell you something about something or somebody, as opposed to questioning your own thoughts, you should trust it first. And then let the reality prove to you whether that's wrong or right. But you can tap right into your power. Like if I look at somebody and they say something, I'll be like, oh, that motherfucker full of shit. I'm going with that because my mind is telling me just off of the rip instead of me just trusting my mind because we do this all the time. Damn, I should have trusted myself when I knew that. You know what I'm saying?
Something told me, man.
Something told you. Your brain tell you because you have sensors.
On a light note, like it's even funny. Like they just had a boxing match in Egypt. You feel me? Usyk, Alexander Usyk, and this kickboxer. And then Usyk was losing, and it's crazy. It was in Egypt, but he was losing the whole fight, and then something told me, I was like, man, he about to knock him out in the. Why? I was like, man, this shit's scripted, man. He about to knock him out in the 12th round or something. Sure enough, in the 11th round, he knocked him out in the last second. I'm like, yeah, something told me. I knew this was gonna happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, if we deliberately tap and exercise it like a muscle, oh yeah, we can change the weather. We can cause earthquakes. We can do different things. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that's why like even like you say, some people they say voodoo or whatever with Haiti and them. You know what I mean? They couldn't conquer them. Yeah, they was tapped into things that and they made it devilish, but they was tapped into things that you know was self. They was tapped in. The power of self for real. You feel me?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something, yo.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
You know, when you look at you, this how you analyze the devil. You watch how he do other people on the planet. So if you've been watching the whole Iran war like I have, right? You'll see a lot of the psychological things that they'll do, how the signals that they'll send out to Iran, like just give up, give up, accept defeat, give up, accept defeat, give up, give up. Because in the end of the day, they want to psychologically make you not fight rather than fight, because they know a lot of times that if you do fight, you're going to win. You know what I'm saying? And if you look out throughout history, those who have continued to fight against the European have always won. It's the ones who give up mentally who always lose.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying?
That's how it goes. That's how you know it's a mental, it's a psychological thing. All warfare is psychological. Like you win the fight in your mind. If you give up, that's when you go. Yeah, that's when you go be defeated. When you decide to give up, because all in all, what they don't the so-called slave master need the slaves anyway. This and white people in general, they need us here. Like you said, this is our planet. You feel what I'm saying? So it's impossible for them to kill us all off without killing themselves off. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
It's
impossible.
impossible. We are like you say in so many words. We are the universe. We are we the people. Regardless of where you want to say we from, we the people though. See what I'm saying? We the people. Whatever you want to call yourself, you call yourself this, that. We are. We have all that in common. We the people. See what I'm saying? We like you said. We the Anunnaki. We the ones that we looking for.
Yeah.
So yeah, but nah, man, I gotta take care of this business, man.
Yeah.
But bro, we gonna have to tap all the way in, man. I'm gonna look into what you was talking about with that Black House, man. I'm down with all that, man. That's real life, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For sure. But nah, man, keep up that good work, bro. I'm gonna be tapping in with you a lot more, man. You know what I mean? For real, perfectly, we can do some work together, man.
For sure, for sure.
We doing it now, even. We even doing it now, so it's all good.
Yeah, we doing good works right here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. May the Most High bless you, though, bro.
For sure, for sure. Hotep.
All right.
So yeah, you know what I'm saying? As you see, man, you know what I'm saying, that the knowledge is getting out there. You know, people are waking up to actually what's actually going on and seeing it within their hemisphere of a lot of things that was not revealed to them. Like the brother said, like you know, when the sun goes down, what do they call it? They call it sunset. And for a lot of time, people just thought that that was just a mythological term or just a term that you just use to say that the sun has went down. But no, basically what it means is that now after the sun, then it's set. So now that the sun is down, now is the rule of set, which is what? The darkness. You know what I'm saying? So you have to realize, people, that you live within a dual state. And this is what is always taught within the Masonic teachings of understanding that, you know what I'm saying, the same way that black people ruled, you know what I'm saying, God, then you have the devil who ruled, which is white people. You know what I'm saying? And everybody gets a chance to rule. That's why when Elijah Muhammad came and he said that the devil was permitted to rule for 600 years, it shot over a whole lot of people's head because nobody had, and you know what I'm saying, unless you are a Mason, then you wouldn't have understood what he was saying when he was saying that the devil was permitted to rule, because the same way that the sun gets a chance to shine, you also see that darkness also gets a chance to rule. You know what I'm saying? So right now, you see why we're constantly always in war is because Set is ruling, and Set is the one who has established how the world is going to be, not just over here in America, but clear across the whole planet. Everybody's up under the same system of Set, of not everything being free, but everything being enslaved and everybody being enslaved. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's literally how it is. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting nothing on this planet unless it's through riches earned. Whereas before, when the Native Americans was here and Christopher Columbus came, everything was free in America. Housing was free, food was free, water was free, everything was free. There was no monetary system here with a slave master by the name of George Washington on it that was dictating to everybody what they could and could not have, depending upon how many of him that they have. And like I told you, George Washington is a follower, a Masonic follower of Set. You know what I'm saying? People forget that the same way Asar is one of the oldest Masonic rulers. Set is also one of the oldest Masonic rulers. And when the Europeans came after their knowledge of studying, Egypt, they decided to worship Set and enslave the people of Asar. And that's why they brought black people over here who are the ancient people from Nubia and what you call Upper Egypt and subjugated them to slavery the same way when you see those old temples over in Egypt where they have black people enslaved on the walls. But not just black people, Asians and Middle Eastern people also too, because Set does not have no allegiance to no race except to his own. So, it's a cold historical thing, but it's not it's not based on mythology. This is all based on facts. This is all based on real history of the world. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, we just talked about that, about the people keep trying to say that the Kemites enslaved the Jews. No, you rewind this and you'll see who really enslaved the Jews. It was the Hyksos who came from the north and enslaved the Jews down in the temples of Goshen, down in the town of Goshen, where they worshiped the devil Set, in the town of Avaris, and what you will call Lower Egypt, which is closer towards the Mediterranean Sea, which is closer towards the Europa. So, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm so glad to get that history out there, because a lot of times our people don't forget, don't remember that there were many kings who ruled over Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Many kings. And a lot of those kings were righteous kings who built up monuments and followed the 42 principles of Ma'at, as opposed to the few kings like King Seti and who followed the principles of Set and worship Set down in the temples over in Avares and what you would call Lower Egypt nowadays. And that's why you see the Romans, they come in who are also worshipers of Set, who came in and tried to dress themselves up as Egyptian pharaohs and bury themselves down in the Valley of the Kings, because they did worship the God Set. And that's why you saw when Iran just went to war with America, that they burnt a picture of the burnt the statue of the god Baal that the Jews worship, and of the Tekken of Asar's Phallus, who the Europeans worship and still worship. You know what I'm saying? So the Iranians who have this knowledge and understand the history of this world, that's why when they went to war with America, the first thing that they did was they burnt those idols in the Times Square to let their people know that they know exactly who they're going to war with, which is the devil, which is Trump, which is the Europeans who are following him, and all the people who follow Trump are all the devil worshippers of this society in which we live in now. And every president that has came before him have also been devil worshippers and have practiced Satanism in America, and they have built themselves monuments in Washington, D.C. to worship the devil. And that's why you have slavery, genocide, and all of these horrific things within this nation, because you live in a nation that has been founded by the devil. You know what I'm saying? So, somebody said the Europeans worship their own gods. Well, the word God itself comes from Europe. So, I don't know what you're talking about because they were worshipers of the devil themselves too. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, all of this knowledge now is being revealed as we enter into the age of Aquarius, and all of the knowledge will continue to be revealed as we start to see the actual truth of what's actually going on, as opposed to, saying the lies that have been put over the people's eyes, and they've been taught to believe that the devil does not exist, and that their presidents are the so-called reincarnation of Jesus, while they themselves are not worshipers of Jesus life, were worshipers of Jesus' death, because in killing Jesus, they received power over the people who were followers of Jesus in the ancient Kemetic empires of the pharaohs who come from the upper Nile Delta. So you know what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody who uh who popped in today, you know what I'm saying? Much respect to all those out there who get it, who understand it, who've been, you know what I'm saying, not just listening to what I'm saying, but actually going back and checking what I'm saying and coming back and telling me, like, wow, I did not know that. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate those, man, who are, starting to wake up and starting to see things for what they are and not what they appear to be. Because literally, the devil literally tell you, you know what I'm saying, to your face who he is, but you have to have the eyes in order to actually see it, and the ears and actually in all actuality to see, to hear it. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate everybody that's tapped in, man. I really, really do. You know what I'm saying? There's been a lot that's going on. You know what I'm saying? We're continuing on our work right now to build our own seat of power and get from up underneath these devils, man, and strive to build our own kingdom up so that we don't basically keep worshiping the devil, because that's literally when you see the transformation of what has happened in America. The devil has literally kept revealing himself to make himself normal to the people inside of society. You know what I'm saying? I always tell people, man, like, yo, if we was to take the TV now, right, of all the shows that you see on there now, and then go back 50 years from now, a lot of people would have probably burnt this nation down because they wouldn't have known that it would become this demonic inside of the society. You know what I'm saying? Everything inside of America gets twisted into devilishment, whether it's hip hop, whether it's R&B, whether it's whatever it is. It always starts off as something positive and then always ends up as something that is negative. You know what I'm saying? Now, hip hop, man, when I look at it, a lot of times it's not even recognizable because they have literally influenced a lot of the rappers to basically practice devil worship. You know what I'm saying? And we'll get deeper into it, man, because I really want to reveal to y'all the devil so that you'll be able to see him. You know what I'm saying? Don't think that he's just a myth. He actually exists. He's actually walking around as a physical being on earth now. The same way that Ra's chosen children and Ra's chosen son is actually walking around now in the physical now. You know what I'm saying? They both exist within both realms. They're called holy half deads, people that exist within the realm of heaven and exist within the realm of the earth, and people that exist in the realm of hell and exist in the realm of earth. Those existences actually exist now in these days, right now. You don't have to go to, you don't have to die in order to experience heaven or hell. Those realms exist now. And when you understand that, you're better off in understanding that the creator is literally watching you every single day. That's why when you see an ancient Kemet, the eyes of Ra was the sun and the moon as a reminder that the universe is actually watching you every single day. And when you understand these moons, we're gonna get deeper into it, man, because especially my people, man, y'all don't even understand a half of it, y'all. Y'all understand a percentage of it, but you don't understand how really deep it goes. And when you understand really how deep it goes, man, it'll transform your whole life, your whole thinking, and how you perceive people and how you perceive your environment. All of those things will change. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. You know what I'm saying? So peace and blessings to everybody today, man. Let's continue to, you know what I'm saying, strive to live within our positive side. Let's try to deflect all of the negative thoughts, you know what I'm saying, if they don't benefit us, you know what I'm saying? And let's continue to live in this divine light of Ra as it continues to shine on us every day. bringing us life and light. Like I tell y'all all the time, you don't have to have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in order for you to be a star. You're literally walking in starlight every day that you wake up. You have the most cosmic energy shining upon you every single day, providing you with light and life. And you should be thankful for that, that you get to see the sun and see the light of the creator as he creates now every single day for you. Hotep and blessings to everybody. Please check out my website, jewelsfromthethrone.com. You know what I'm saying? Get you some of that sour sop to get those parasites, get those vampires out of your body. You know, tell you how deep that is. Get those parasites out of your body, replenish your cells so that you can have a clear mind and not a toxic mind. So you have a pure mind that has its own thoughts so that you can fast and have the strength that you need to keep yourself as pure as you can. And don't get trapped inside of the society of all of this garbage that you see that's going on as the devil continues to spread wickedness and evil across the world. Hotep and blessings to everybody out there. Y'all know what this is. It's the great Nesubiti Menkepera, the great. Peace and blessings to you, Hotep.